What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your girl Bangz, and I'm here to show you how I accomplished my triple XL Valentine's Day nail set. I'm super excited, guys, so if you're new to this channel, please take the time now to go ahead and subscribe so we can get into it. Valentine's Day, as you know, is right around the corner. So I usually do just an extra large nail tip. I love long nails, always have loved long nails. But this time I wanted to get a little spicy. So I decided to do 3XL nails. This is my first time doing nails this long, so I just ask that you guys bear with me. I did the best that I could with what I had, but I was not equipped with all the right tools. So yeah, I didn't have any nippers, so I went with this drill to get the dead skin from my cuticles off, and then we're going to go ahead and get into cleaning the nail bed with the drill and getting the nails to have a nice rough base so that the nail tip will adhere properly. So that's what I'm doing right now, just cleaning that cuticle area up and cleaning the nail bed. I'm going to go ahead and apply my nail tips. The first tip that you see me put on is my normal length. That's what I usually wear on a daily basis. And then you see me apply the second one, which is going to give it that triple XL length. And I'm just making sure that my nail tips are fit and snug into my nail bed from edge to edge. Okay, our nail tips are applied. So now I'm just using the drill to file the nail tip so that it has the same consistency and texture as the base of my nail. Oh yeah, it's looking good, Divas. So now let's move on. Now I'm going to apply my acrylic. I used Morovan acrylic powder in pink, and I also used Savisland acrylic powder. It also glows in the dark, so I was super excited about using it. I used the colors rose red, china red, and purple. Rose red was a little pink. That's the first one. The china red came off like a bright red, which I loved. And then we have the purple. They were also beautifully pigmented. When I used them, they were a little watery. However, I was able to manage and it came out very, very beautiful. The application wasn't too bad. There was moments where it got a little lumpy, but I worked it out, pushed through, and it came out very nice. I'll drop a link below in the description box for both of the acrylic powder sets for you guys. So I know a lot of people use the 2 bead effect to apply their acrylic. It was definitely a little difficult to do with this acrylic powder just because, as I mentioned earlier, it's a little watery. So I did do the bead effect just to create the apex for this nail, and then I just brought it down and just waited a little while longer than I usually would have so that the acrylic could dry just a little bit, enough to be able to manipulate it and create a nice apex. So once I applied that first bead of acrylic to this nail, I realized that I wanted to do an ombre effect. So Divas, I left it sitting right there and moved on to the next nail so that I can come back to it and create my ombre effect. So now we got into the first acrylic by Morovan in the color pink. When I applied this, I realized that it was more translucent than a milky pink. So once I realized that, I wanted to do a French tip with it. So I applied the bead to be able to pull that down the same way that I did the hot pink nail. However, I realized this brand, Morovan, it dries a lot quicker than the Savisland acrylic powder. So once I realized that, I had to retract and just go ahead and remove the acrylic and then reapply because it was too hard at that point. And I mean, this is real time, the video you're seeing, so it literally dried as I was cleaning my brush off. So I was a little disappointed about that when it came to this brand. I had a little bit more of high hopes for it. But once I realized how quick the dry application was, I went ahead and moved a little quicker with the second bead that I applied just to create my apex for the French tip. My middle finger has dried, so I decided to go back to it to create my ombre effect. I used the China Red because I figured that would be a smooth transition between the two colors. So I went ahead and applied that in the middle of my nail tip and then proceeded to drag it up as well as down for a nice blended effect. now I'm going to apply the purple acrylic powder at the tip of the nail and then blend that upwards so that we can create a full nail tip. And make sure that that's thick enough. So I'm going to go back and reapply more of the China red in the middle and spread that upwards and downwards so that it's a nice thick layer of acrylic. Isn't this ombre just beautiful, Divas? I love it. I can't get enough of it. It was such a good decision, and I'm very happy with it. I can't wait to buff it out and see the end effect. So I created that nice apex with the translucent pink acrylic powder. So now I'm just going in and filling in the French tip with the purple acrylic, and just making sure that everything is smooth and leveled, because you don't want that apex to be weak or your nail will definitely break off. So I'm just making sure that everything's secure. And as I stated before, this is my first time doing a nail set this long, as well as my first time doing a nail set on camera. So if you see me, my video jumping around, it's because I've cut out anything that's not in the camera. Sometimes I was outside of the lens, so I do apologize for that. I hope you can forgive me, divas, but we're just going to move right along. So I'm now applying the clear acrylic on top of my sugar paper nail. So I came up with using the red sugar paper because it was just beautiful, reminded me of a little bit of glitter. However, I didn't have any glitter, so I went with sugar paper. So now I'm just encapsulating the sugar paper with my pink translucent acrylic powder and just getting a really nice smooth surface so we don't run into any problems when I'm filing the nail down. I am telling you, divas, that dry time on this pink acrylic powder is no joke, okay? I am literally racing the dry time on this acrylic powder, but I'm gonna get it done. I'm definitely determined, and it's still coming out so pretty, right? I started to get into my design, my thumbnail, but then I realized I have to touch up my cuticles. So if you see the black spot, that's what that is. I started to do my design, but then realized I wanted to go ahead and take care of those cuticles. So I went back through just to make sure that everything was lined up correctly, and that the cuticles were buffed out so that it looked very clean once I started my design. I wanted to make sure that I didn't create too big of a gap between my cuticle and the nail bed. So that was my focus during this time, was just to make it clean but not too much of a gap. After you clean those cuticles up, divas, you want to go ahead and buff those nails out, girl. Any dents you see in your nails, you want to get those out with your buffer, and you want it to make a smooth surface so that when you go to polish or design, those nails look exquisite. Okay, so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just buffing out my nails. I'm making sure that it's really smooth and soft. Make sure you buff those tips out as well, because they can be jagged or have little pieces of acrylic that you miss with the drill. I cannot stand all of that dust, girl, so I went ahead and washed my hands and made sure they were nice and clean and free of all dust so that we can move on. Now we're going to get into our design. I decided to go with a heartbeat for the thumbnail. Again, I apologize for being out of frame, but please bear with me. So I drew my heartbeat with a magic marker first, just to save me the time with the freehand work, because I am not used to doing nail art. I love crystals, so that's my thing. I used to work ski crystals, but the nail art by hand is new for me. So I used the magic marker first to create my heartbeat, and then I went over it with my black nail polish. And it was pretty easy. I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult than it was, but I managed to get through it fairly easily without any bleeding or any marks outside of the design that I was trying to create. Once I finished, I went back through with my Q-tip with a little bit of nail polish remover and just removed any bleeding or blotches that was visible to the eye, just to clean up the nail art a little bit. I painted my purple French tip clear. That way I can apply my iridescent leaves to the clear nail polish so that it will stick without using too much gel or caking the nail up with nail glue. I used the same method with the ombre nail as I did with the purple French tip and just applied my clear nail polish so that I can place my rhinestones on the clear nail polish opposed to caking it up with any nail glue. Looking forward to receiving my gel kits and gel polish. That way I can avoid this in the future. I ended up using red Swarovski crystals for this nail art. I didn't really know where I was going with this at first, but then I ended up doing a rose effect with the crystals. It came out really nice. I didn't think it was going to come out like this. I think I started out trying to create a heart, then my mind went to the rose, so yeah, that's what I ended up with. 2 roses on this nail. And if you can see the sugar paper nail to the left of the ombre nail, I ended up putting gold rings on that nail and just layering them. So yeah, you can see how it looks like a heart to an extent. Okay, great. So now you can see the designs, Divas. So you see the iridescent leaves on the purple French, you see the roses on the ombre nail, and then my gold rings on the sugar paper nail. And then my pinky nail was pink, and I'm not sure where I wanted to go with that design. But right now, I'm just going to go ahead and paint my clear over my heartbeat because at this time it should be dry. So with the pinky nail, I decided to adventure out and just push the limit a little when it comes to my nail art by hand. So I decided to go with hearts, and I just used my nail tool, the dotter, to create little dots on my nails and then I connected them to create the heart. And then I moved on to my right hand, and the thumb I decided to go with XOXO. Hugs and kisses, divas. So this was super challenging for me, creating kiss on my pinky finger. I'm not used to writing letters with my nail art, so this was a little difficult, but I was able to get through it. I used both tools to create this look. The only thing I'm not really satisfied with is the last S. I feel like it could have came out better, but when I tried to remove the black nail polish off my nail, it didn't really come all the way off like I wanted it to. So I tried to refrain from any removal of the black nail polish on my pink nail from that point on. It came out okay, but I think I could have done better. I decided to do the same look on both nails for the sugar paper nail on my right hand as well as my left hand. So they both got the gold ring. But as far as my ombre finger on my right hand, I went with a half a heart with the crystals. Alright divas, the nails are done. Please let me know what you think. I will leave all of my materials in the description box below, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm looking forward to making another video like this with more nail tips and nail ideas. Please hit me up if you have any ideas, or just drop a comment below and let me know what you think about the nails. Alright, I'll see you later.